Hello guys, Ryan from Mash Gaming here today, showing you our first ever Total War Attila video. Alright, let's go ahead and put this on play. There was a lot of shuffling in the beginning between the armies. We didn't get engaged right away. Just a lot of cavalry movements. So this will be an online battle I've played against my opponent, who is Francisca Hirban. He wasn't the most experienced opponent, but then again, not many people in Attila are right now at this time because it's pretty much a new game. I've only done a few battles myself, first one losing very badly. But in that battle I played as the Eastern Roman Empire, and as you guys can see, I'm playing as the Eastern Roman Empire in this one too. So, let's see how this goes. As you guys may have noticed, I went with a lot of crossbowmen. I also got a few armored legionaries, or legios, as this game calls them. Sorry, I used to Rome 2, and I went with some auxilia palantina on the flanks, just as some spearmen to kind of guard my flanks. And I went with 6 of these interesting units called Tagmata Cavalry. These guys are pretty OP. They're heavy melee cavalry. I'll show you their stats. As you can see in the corner, they've got pretty high melee attack, pretty good melee damage, and if you can see their charge bonus, 80. That is amazing. These guys get a great charge bonus, which will be their best stat in this battle. But yeah, they also have pretty high health and pretty good amount of speed. So, we'll see how that plays out in the course of the battle. So, my opponent decided to shuffle some of his units up to this hill to kind of guard from my cavalry. Pretty good move on his part. He brought some crossbows as well, but they're Germanic, very light crossbows, so they won't be doing much. They could do some damage at a distance, but my cavalry, if they get to them, will pretty much end up ripping them to shreds. So, he also got some shock cav, which will be pretty hard to get by. I'll have to play that tactically so that I don't get my cavalry taken out by them. And then he's also got some heavy melee cav. So that's what he brought over to this side. He also brought a unit of heavy melee infantry. And that's what he brought to combat that. So I decided to leave one of my Tagmata cavalry over here to keep up the pressure on that side and bring it up to a hill, and 2 of them to bring around to the back of his army, so that he wouldn't be able to kind of relieve the pressure and he'd be forced to split his forces. My other cavalry unit is just kind of at a standstill over here. I don't want to get within range of his crossbows or his shock cav, so I decided to start moving up my army. As you guys can see, pretty standard move forward, same kind of position as before, except a lot closer, almost within range of his range. Oh yeah, so his cavalry went through the forest where I couldn't see, and then they came out. I pretty much expected that. I didn't know if they were going to go for either of my cavalry units, but I knew it was going to be one of them, so I was keeping an eye on it. So, pretty good charge on both sides' parts. No one's really getting the upper hand yet. It's pretty even on both sides. But he's going to slowly start to get the advantage because of his heavy shot cav here. But he pulls that out because he sees that I'm starting to bring over my other Tagmata cav, because he doesn't want that in his flanks. So, since he pulled that out, it created a gap in his units, which I exploited, or my cavalry exploited, and now one of his units will be losing decisively. They're already down to 30 men. My guys are still up at 37, 38. His guys are down to 30, 35, so I'll slowly start gaining the advantage there. My cavalry was spread out in a much wider formation, so it was able to surround his unit in turn. So I'll be holding out quite a while against them, even though now I'm losing pretty badly. Yeah, I'll slowly start to get picked away. Let you guys see this for a bit. this game has really good animations, as you can see. It's just missing really good blood texture, but I really like the animation improvements that they did. They're pretty good. I mean, look at the swords. They're, like, glinting off the sun, which is another point. Like, look at that. That was much better than Rome 2. So, let's pull out of that. Oh shit, I missed this. His men started to advance towards mine, and we missed a bit of this. I pulled my crossbowman back at the last second, and he decided to engage with my infantry. So that's what he's doing now, and I'm pulling my crossbows to the back, to the sides, to start getting some pretty good shots off against his guys. And this will be vitally important. I mean, look how many are already dead to the crossbows. So his men will end up getting picked away by my crossbows on all sides. His general's chasing off some of my crossbows, but he's not going to be able to take out all three of those. I believe I take my general over there once he comes over here to start getting in the backs of my infantry. I bring my general over, and I also fire at him with my crossbows. So that's what happens here. And yeah, these crossbows in the back will just shred a unit. So you can really put up with that. And his general ended up getting flayed alive by that. Yeah, already down to half strength. What else? The rest of his crossbowmen came out of the woods. I ended up winning that. I thought I lost that, but I ended up actually winning that engagement with his shock cav. Most likely because my unit was able to surround his. And now, yeah, like I said, my cavalry, even though it's only at 23 men, will just be able to rip through these Germanic crossbowmen. And one of the units is already fleeing, the other one is wavering, and yeah, there we go, it's broken. So I'm going to chase it down until it's completely shattered, so that it doesn't have any chance of rerouting. My guys over here started to lose. I routed his 2 cavalry units, but once he brought his heavy melee infantry in, I started to lose, so that's why I pulled out. And now I have 3 cavalry units that are isolating his 1 unit of exhausted royal Anstrucions, these heavy infantry. So these guys will be going down to my 3 units. There's no way that they can take up to that. So yeah, charge in the back, pretty devastating. Pretty good animations too. And yeah, his entire line was shattered, like I said, by the crossbowmen. Getting some good flanking shots in, some good back shots in. And just because I upgraded my infantry so much, he must have brought just normal units, so some of my units got off with only like 20 men killed, which is pretty good. Still at like 75% strength. So now he'll be engaging my Tagmana cavalry on this side. 2 of them were already routed, so now this is just the last one, and I decided to bring my whole army over, take him out, and just finish up this battle, because as you can see, the balance of power, it's pretty much in my favor now. So he's just got these last 3 cavalry units, and this 1 unit of heavy melee infantry, which I'll be wrapping up with just this unit of cav. Let you guys see this charge.
Men have given up and are running for their lives.
Yeah, this is just devastating. Like, his whole line just has a huge gaping hole in it. So now my entire army will be moving towards his last few units. They know that they have no hope, but they're gonna make a valiant last stand. And yeah, you can just see the bodies piled up, mainly Eastern Roman by the uniforms, but there's a few of his units mixed in there. So these guys will make a pretty good last stand. I decided to bring my cavalry in, regardless of the fact that they'd probably be ripped up, but I wanted to bring them in just as a kind of holding component for all of his cavalry, so that they couldn't kind of try to flank around my army, however unlikely that would be. So that's what I ended up doing. Music's a bit loud. He will end up attempting to flank me, I believe. Yeah, not flank, but just kind of get into the side of my unit and get it routed faster. I ended up using steady on one of these guys, I believe, because the other had already routed, but it made him last a bit longer. So yeah, his unit was finally routed. 2 men left. They lasted quite a while. And there goes my cavalry. His men are just broken,
The men have
running
thrown down
away.
their weapons and are fleeing!
So, yep. Now my last Tagmata cavalry unit over here runs away. And so his men winning that engagement decide to charge my main line. Still in slow motion. So you'll see that in just a moment. I'm bringing up my infantry, and then I just sent all my crossbowmen to attack directly, but I'll be reshuffling them once he starts getting close. So I see that he's going for these crossbowmen over here. So what I wanted to do was kind of station them for that charge, and then I decide why not put my elite ballistari, which they have a very higher melee attack than these guys do, and these guys have a pretty good speed of fire, so I decided to use these guys instead to shoot at them while these guys acted as the meat shield. So, but they ended up pulling out of that engagement and then coming back. So, crossbows just flying everywhere now. These guys are the meat shield, unfortunately for them. But they don't end up getting routed, I don't believe. But yeah, just look at some of that. I would not want to be that unit. And somehow they think they're winning. Now they're losing. And then, right after that charge, I bring in all of my infantry. Everyone's attacking these guys. Yeah, my Tagmata Cav's gonna try to go for one last flank. This is the unit that came from over here, and he came back here. So, yeah, just everybody going for this little circle of cavalry. They know it's over, but they're still gonna fight valiantly, take out some of my guys with them. So, crossbows just flying in the air as they make their last stand. And yep, there we go. So, let's take a look at some of the stats. So, yeah, I didn't lose too many men. My Tagmata Cav lost, but they got, as you can see, a lot of kills. Like, look at that, 175, 243 with just some units of Tagmata. That's pretty much all you can ask for right there. Crossbows all getting a decent amount of kills. Infantry holding their own. I generally didn't get too much combat. And my opponent, his crossbows were kind of wasted. I would suggest for him next time to kind of more efficiently use them, maybe keep them with the main line. I think this is the one unit that was kept with the main line, maybe this one too. His infantry not really getting too many kills. 27, 37, that's pretty much where it peaks at. And his cavalry did fairly good. So, you know, overall he did pretty good for such a new game. And I would recommend going with this build over here. Tagmata Cav heavy and crossbowman heavy. And just make sure you get a few upgraded melee and spear units, just in case your opponent goes heavy on that, so that you're not completely helpless when it comes to that department. So, yeah, with that, I will see you guys next time on MASH Gaming. Be sure to like, subscribe if you want to see more of this. I can guarantee you that you'll be seeing more Total War. So with that, goodbye.